So, hi, everybody. Bob Schwartz here, Executive Director of ASAP, and I am with Jenine Lamberton, who is an advanced practitioner of EFT certified by ASAP. How's it going, Janine?
Good, thank you.
And I thought I would talk with you about your journey to becoming an advanced certified practitioner. I'm curious what it was like for you in terms of your EFT practice before you got certified in EFT. I mean, kind of what challenges did you have in your practice applying EFT?
Yeah, well, I would say by the end of PS2, I was feeling pretty confident about how I'd learnt the skills. I
Hmm.
think that the training is so thorough that I did have a real sense that I knew what I was doing, which is kind of I believe that that's what novices can get a little bit confident. But I did definitely find that just as you guys predicted in PS1, getting people to try it was okay, but getting people to keep going wasn't always so good, which would be an indication looking back that maybe I needed a little bit more to finesse the skills.
So when you say, just so I'm clear, when you say getting people to try it, you mean your clients?
Yeah, my clients were willing to try EFT. They were
Right.
very clients are very hey, you're the expert, do what you want to do. But then after a few sessions, some people would put the brakes on and not be so interested. And yeah, there was something going on that I wasn't. I could get them to give it a go, but they're not.
Interesting.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
all of them, but
just
yeah, some
some.
of them. Yeah, and I can see now what was going on. I just didn't.
Well, let's jump ahead. What did you learn in when you got
Yeah,
certified that helped with that problem?
I suppose I was taught the end game and knew what I could achieve. And I was achieving that with many clients. But it's that bridge that you guys talked about. I think I needed to learn to go really gently with everyone, just assume everyone's going to find it too hard and go really, really gently. And some people will jump right to that end game really quickly, but a lot of them really hang in that in the more gentle skills for a longer time.
Hmm.
Um, and Helen, I remember Helen got me to record myself doing chasing the pain
Yes.
and practicing it, all that sort of stuff. And I mean, the other thing that I think is the major difference, the more I became confident in what I was doing, the more they would pick up that confidence.
What I'm hearing you say is one of the benefits of taking the time and the effort in going through the mentoring and certification process is that gave you the time to really get this in your bones.
Yeah,
You got more confident, and
yeah,
it's just sort of subtly and yet profoundly
yeah.
influenced how it unfolded with your clients.
Well, I said I was confident beforehand,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I was that novice confidence, though,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
thought,
It's subtle. It's like it was a deep.
yeah,
It was a
yeah. I felt like the clients were getting it wrong, right? I felt like there's
oh
something missing for them, not
I
me,
see.
and not the modality, right? Or sometimes I might blame the modality, but I definitely knew I knew what Michael had taught me. I knew what I was doing, right?
Yes.
But then in certification, this fascinated me. I was sure I'd done everything just as he'd taught me, but in certification, Helen, in her beautiful, delightful, really gentle way, she said, "Do you remember Michael talks about using the word guess in tearless trauma?" And I was like, no, no. And I was pretty convinced she was wrong. Went back to the books and it's all in capital letters. That word is gas, gas, gas. And I'm like, how have I missed this? What's going on? So it's I reflect back and find it really interesting how I was convinced I knew all of the steps exactly as he taught me because
Yeah.
it's such good teaching,
Yeah.
but I'd missed something. And it wasn't until I had someone working with me one on one that that was ever going to be identified. I had to have an external person pick that up. I would be blind to it otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the whole, it's not just 10,000 hours of practice, it's 10,000 hours of practice
Proper practice.
with feedback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
that,
oh my goodness, I
yeah.
honestly thought tearless trauma when you guys introduced it, I really thought, nah, that's just silly. It's dumb. But now, my goodness, it does so much of the processing so that by the time I get to the other end, they're ready for it. They're clear. Yeah,
Right.
it's so powerful. I just did not get it at that PS1, PS2 level, but now I really go, wow, I love this technique.
I'm wondering, when you were considering about getting certified or not, did you have any concerns or questions about it? Like, were you worried? Like, I'm wondering if, like, for instance, I mean, maybe you did this one or not, but you were like, "Oh, I'm so confident, I don't really need this."
Yeah. Well, yes, I did have concerns. One was a superficial one, and that's money.
Yeah.
Am I going to be wasting my money? Was a concern.
No,
Coming from
that's
Australia, our little dollar's not as big as yours, so I had to add 30%. And that I think was a superficial uh, problem I had, which was covering up that deeper level of underneath that confidence was self-doubt, massive self-doubt that I was going to be exposed as having no idea of what I was doing, Um, self-doubt and confidence kind of, or arrogance, I suppose I'm really speaking about arrogance, are the same.
hubris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets you through the day, but underneath it is a whole lot of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So yes, I had massive fears about having to work one-on-one with someone who had like 20 years experience of this practice, different
Yeah.
from me.
So how
Yeah.
did you overcome that? I mean, what was that? What finally got you to?
Well, sadly, I would say it's my competitive streak that motivated me, because can't just say I've done weekend one and anyone really hear you. So just sheer competition, just wanting to say I'm certified.
Yeah, sure. No,
Couldn't get it.
of course. That's a good,
Yeah.
that's fine. And so you ended up uh taking, starting the process, and then you were worried that you'd be found out and judged.
Yeah.
And I gather that didn't happen.
No, the two people that I worked with, George and Helen, were absolutely, they affirmed what I knew, but also did take my knowledge and practice and skills further. They're very skillful in
Yeah.
uh, pushing a potential to where it's meant to be, or where it's capable of being. Yeah, so I mean, I was scared doing it. Yeah, like recording myself wasn't easy.
Yeah, no, it's
Now
hard. I know.
I'm so glad that I learned to do that though, because now I will
Right?
record myself just for the sheer sake of I learned from watching myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How is your practice different now that you've gone through this, the mentoring and certification? How's your life different? How is your practice different? Um,
Yeah. So I think that the major difference is I said originally I was confident. Now we've flipped. That's probably a little bit of just arrogance. But
yeah,
I've found a real deeper sense of confidence. It's not like I never feel fear. I feel a lot of fear, but I can notice the fear and know that's
it
it's
doesn't, it
healthy
does, you can notice it and you can feel confident at this.
at
Okay,
the
I
same
noticed. I have a
time.
little
Yeah.
fear and I'm going to do this. And I got this somehow.
Yeah, and it's
I'll be able to
probably
handle it.
healthier. It's healthier than
Yeah.
that arrogance, because the
Yeah,
arrogance just you end up butting heads with people a bit. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
So if a PS1 or PS2 student is thinking about, should I do this? Should I go on? Should I, is it worth the money and the time going on videotape? Well, why should, tell them why they should, at least from your perspective, why they should do it. Why is it a good deal?
PS1 taught me what to do. PS2 taught me how to use that well. And then certification picked up the bits that I was missing and put me on the right track. And then advanced certification is where I found me in EFT. I started to realize that I have a place, that's unique, a unique fingerprint, let's say, on how I deliver it. That's just slightly different from how you all do it. Um, and through that, then I'm reaching my potential, which I'm not there yet. We're going to constantly grow, but I'm also able to help my clients reach a potential that I wasn't previously able to do. I definitely, my job satisfaction has changed. I loved
Oh,
my job before, but again, I love it on a different level. I didn't know then what I could feel now about how I work. Yeah. that's the curious thing. But so what I
That's
would
interesting.
want to say to myself, if I could go back to me back then, is the world definitely needs us all at our potential. Yeah, we're all relying on each other to do well in life, and holding ourselves back is safe, but the world needs us to do our best. And so um, so I feel like my message to me would be, you kind of, it don't hold yourself back, because you're limiting everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
not just yourself. You other people will benefit from, and that's why you got into social work in the first place, for heaven's sakes. Like, just keep learning, and have the experience of mentorship where you get guided one-on-one with someone who is safe and kind. And what they're not trying to pick me up for doing it wrong. They want to support me to do it well. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. When I joined PS1, I felt a sense from the way you guys were talking and other forums that EFT is building up all of this research at the moment. It's just about to take off. And I was like, oh, yes, yes, Janine's just landed at the right time. And I follow Peter Stapleton, and we're literally just about to take off. So my advice to anyone who's done PS2, keep going, because you're going to get ahead of the pack right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's about to
if you're
blast.
competitive,
About to
that's to the
blast off.
competitive
Yeah.
ones, obviously.
Yeah.
um, and I
I love
personally,
what you said. I gotta tell you, I mean, at first level of certification, you start to get really sort of more skill, but advanced certification, that's when you found yourself.
whatever you do, just keep going and get into that one-on-one relationship where you can. You just can't do it on your own. You need the feedback from someone who's safe, obviously. But that's where you do reach your potential within any practice. I agree. Yeah. And I couldn't have predicted that before. I really couldn't have. I don't know. I just thought I was going to get some certificates and a bit of cred. Yeah. And funnily enough, I don't call myself advanced certified because it's too much of a mouthful. I just say certified if I have to, or just EFT practitioner. It does, like, that no longer matters. That's the funny thing. The thing that really enticed me in is no longer relevant. What I love is the change in me, the real confidence in how I practice. And as I say, I'm not trying to pretend that I never have moments where I walk out and go, I don't know what to do. Yeah. But I can
Yeah.
always find my way back. And I've got people I can speak to, and yeah. Hmm.
Are there
Um,
any other changes like in you? That fascinates me.
I think I came in thinking it was like everything else. I have to learn so I can do unto you, and then you will fit, you'll change. Yeah. Now I realize what I've learned to do is um, help someone align back into their own natural state, and their self-healing. I'm not really um, doing much more than supporting them to get to the state where they will do all the healing themselves. And I think that's where the confidence comes from. It's not me. I don't need to do it. You've got it all in you. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And I don't think I understood that. You guys could talk about it in theory, but I don't think I got that until I
Yeah.
really
It
went through the process of um, changing myself and learning how to practice at a different level, I suppose. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's just freeing.
I mean, I'm guessing when you guys created this whole thing, you weren't picturing some person from Adelaide having an interview with you and saying, this has really made a major difference in the way I practice in my, how much I love my job. So process.
Let's tell me the shifts that you had from you PS1, PS2, PS3. Just say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hear that again.
Yeah. So with
Maybe you'll say, well,
PS1, I learned what to do.
yeah,
So I was up here learning how to, like not how to, just what, like following instructions.
yeah,
Yeah. And then PS2, I still remember I was driving to about 45 minutes away to see, I was working in bushfire affected people, and I'd been working with this woman. I was seeing her that day, and I was a bit stuck in what I was doing. I was practicing EFT, and I was listening to Michael, and it was on the, it's in PS2, it's when he uses the language, which language to choose.
Mhm.
And it made such a difference to the session with her. It totally got her moving again. And so I realized that PS2 really taught me how to practice what I'd learned. So I learned what, then I learned how. And then through certification, the first step, I was supported to get those bits that I'd missed and enhance the bits that I wasn't really practicing, that I'd focused a bit much on this and hadn't really, had let this bit drop away, that sort of thing. And then advanced certification was where I was supported to, like, it suddenly became a glove that just fit into me, a bit like, you know, that Harry Potter style thing of which hat. It's like, it's still EFT, but this is the me one, or which wand or whatever. Yeah.
So
Where
in advance, you made it your own. In advance, you made it. You came through.
I found me in it. Yeah, like I think you and I would be practicing the same thing, but with our own
Right.
nuances.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want. I don't want people to do me.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do me for a little bit just to learn the roles. You know, like
Yeah.
after that, don't do me. Do you?
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think I always have probably thought that I wanted to be someone else, but now I realize, no, actually, I'm the person I need to be. I just need to be a good version of me. That's all.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. Nice.
Hmm.
What
So
else is
yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
my pleasure?
Hmm.
My pleasure. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate it so much. This is great. And we're happy to have you, you know, on the team, so to speak, and keep doing what you're doing. And yeah.